My name is Prabhu Jha, and I'm a solution architect with the JK Technosoft. And my colleague Archana is a technical lead of the Corticon product. So as Rajendra has covered that what the BRMS is and how it is new emerging trends in terms of separating the business rule from the transaction processing system, or the BPM, which is separating the business process altogether from the transaction processing system. We are going to discuss a little bit detail in terms of how it is in a product. The Corticon, which is the product which we are going to talk about, is. So before we talk about, there is certainly a background in that why even we are talking about the BRMS. Our systems have been there for many years, but if you see the change happening in the industry, or you see the change happening in the business process altogether, the complexity is increasing day by day. Big data is something which probably people have not heard a few years back, but it is getting the mainstream place. Everybody is starting talking about it. You might have not implemented the big data, but probably a few years down the line, probably you will have to consider doing it. Same with the BRMS. Your current transaction processing system may be doing fine today. People will say the same thing about the COBOL system, which was written probably in the year 2000, and they eventually moved to the ERP system or some other advanced system. The same goes with the BRMS system. These things is, at this time, it may not look very relevant, but as the complexity of the business increases, as Rajendra has said, you have 10,000 rules in a particular telecom situation in the telecom industry. And nobody knows out of that 10,000 rules which rule is really needed, which rule is redundant, which is just lying there. People are just so scared to touch it that if I touch it, I will break it. And I don't know what is going to happen. So everybody will just quietly go write its own rule under that thousands of lines of code and somehow come out of it so that it doesn't break anything. And that's how keep happening, and then your application becoming heavy and heavy, and the maintenance cost is getting increased and increased. So it's not optimized way to manage your business rule, and especially if it is very critical for your business, competitive point of view. So we are going to discuss on that line just how the Corticon product is kind of path-breaking product in that. There are other products out there, and we are going to do a comparative analysis of that as well. Okay. So the Corticon is a rule management system which is to automate the business process. Automate the business rules. And the way it's supposed to work, way it works is that you take the rule hotspot from your application and put it in a BRMS, put it in the Corticon or any other BRMS which you are planning to use. Rule hotspot means your transaction processing systems has the areas which are having like thousands of rules, or certain areas which doesn't have any rules. Probably the areas which doesn't have any rule, it is just writing the data, it is getting the data. You leave that alone. The areas where you are defining all the rules, all the logics. Currently probably what might be happening is, we have done many of the applications last many years, and you must be seeing it. You have a screen where you have all the parameters defined. You define, okay, I wanted to change the rate from this to that. So somebody enters on your behalf, some end user enters that it is an end user screen. He's just sitting quietly doing it. And then suddenly some change comes altogether, like Rajendra was saying, GST comes altogether. It was not coded in that particular screen. So now it becomes a project for your organization. You analyze it, you specify it, you define it. So all those things, it has been done. Corticon works in a different way. It just tells you that you take all the business rules out of it, you bypass it, you let the rules, all the decision comes to the rule engine. Rule engine will give you the decision, and then your application move forward from that point. That's where it comes in picture. It can talk to any kind of system. It can talk to any database system, whether it's Oracle, SQL Server, or it's a flat file system, or any kind of system. And it can, whatever enterprise data sources you have, it can talk to. And the decision modelers, people who are probably your business analyst, or the people who are the decision modelers, they are going to control the most of the product here, how it is going to work. This is some of the quotes from the leading analysts in the market, Gartner, IDC, Forrester. Corticon is on one of the top quadrant of the Gartner list of the Magic Quadrant. This is just to give you a quick glimpse of how the product looks like. It is just a one-screen product. It's a very powerful product, but it's not clumsy. It is not a huge thing. It doesn't involve a lot of learning curve for your business analyst or the rule modelers. It's just one screen product. It's quick 2 or 3 days training and brings the people to the point where they can start using the product. As you can see in the left hand side, there is a what is that? Yeah. So this is an area where you define your business specific vocabulary. Vocabulary means, like, for example, if it is a life insurance or it's in writing, the vocabulary is like age, name, risk rating, or any of the other vocabulary is specific to your business. Here, all the different type of rules which you can define as a project, and then there is the operators to define the rules. This side you define all the rules, and the corresponding rules have the different rule statement. Here is the action for those rules. So that's it. I mean, there are 6 major segments. Define the rule, attach the rule to the rule statement. Here is your rule actions, and it's just everything is just in one place. You have, I mean, you tell your programmer, okay, here are the things, and your programmer enter those things in that particular screen, and you don't know what's going underneath it. Here you can see everything. You can see the rule statement, you can see the action, you can see everything what is happening in this particular situation. We are going to just discuss quickly about few of the differentiators of the Corticon, and we're going to do a comparison of it. Raila was talking about the error situation. I mean, when you specification is when given about for a particular requirement, it's a very remote chances that the specification is 100% correct. Most of the time, specification comes from very bottom. It comes from the end user. Sometimes specification is just derived from the certain change by the legislative changes or something. The people who define the specification is not it's not, they are humans, so error bound to happen, and then usually something left there, it just goes on, and then it gets coded, it gets designed, it gets coded, it gets tested, it gets deployed. Then suddenly it was found, by the way, this was not complete. We left 4 or 5 things. And then again you go back, and that whole cycle goes on, and then the cost increases astronomical. One of the key things of the Corticon is that the error or the problem with the specification is found in the very early in the state. So the cost of rectifying that is pretty low. I mean, because the rule modeler defines some rules, and it as soon as it just model to the Corticon's check, okay, if it is complete or not. If it is not complete, it will immediately tell, the software tells that your rule is not complete. And then you can go back to the end user, hey, I mean, you have given me all these rules, but it looks like few of the scenarios you left completely. So it's going to, the software is going to do that completeness check, which is, humanly it's not most of the time possible for a person to check all the permutations, combination of a particular logic which they are trying to put together. So we are going to do a quick comparison how Corticon fare with the other products which is out there as a BRMS. iLog is a product from the IBM. There is a JS, there is a Phi. So one of the major differentiator when it comes to the Corticon is when complexity of your rule. Let's say today you are dealing with the 200 rules with data around it. Tomorrow your rule increase to let's say 700 or 800, and then maybe 2000. The other products is based on a traditional algorithm, which is a RETI algorithm. I will not get in detail into that. In that algorithm, what happens initially, its performance is pretty good, but as the complexity of the rule changes and as the data increases, the rule increases, its performance degrades drastically. One of the case study I think Basil is going to cover why eBay dumped the iLog and goes to the Corticon because of this. Because after the complexity of the pool changes of the data increased, it's just performance degrades drastically, and that's where Corticon differentiates itself because of its DT algorithm. It's also has a degradation of performance, but it is very linear in nature. It doesn't exponential. I mean, it just, if it is go from 200 rules to the 2000 rules, there will be some fractional difference it comes to in terms of the performance comes. That's where it differentiates itself from other competitive products. Just to give you a quick recap on what we have discussed about the Corticon is all the things which are already we have discussed, but the top of the thing is IT team, your IT development team. They're going to have entirely change set of time. They will not have to spend a lot of time doing a lot of coding on the business rule anymore if you decide to take the BRMS route. So you can devote that time to other innovative tasks or other enhancements for your application, for your product. It will obviously it will detect the bug in the early in the process of defining the specification. So that's where it is going to differentiate. Reduce time to market we have already discussed. Risk is obviously mitigated because you have most of the things covered at the time of business evolving itself. I just wanted to give a quick idea of one of the client who has been using Corticon. It's Pennsylvania government, and they had typically government brings the legislative changes in one or twice in a year in any state. Like our state in India, they also have a lot of state and federal rules, and their legislative is changed quite frequently. And their case workers, especially on the the case worker who deals with the foster care or will deal with the social security, welfare things. So those case workers assigned they were like doing 3 cases in a month because there is a legislative changes does not apply to the system immediately. So they have to carry all those changes on their paper, and then it applies to the system in a particular point of time. It's synced there, and it takes a whole lot of time. So their case worker times goes in just managing all those paperwork, and they have 3 or 4 different systems. One thing was in the few of the rules was in the .NET system, few of the rules was integrated through the TIBCO system. So once they separated all the rules, put it in the Corticon, the case worker which were handling like 3 or 4 cases in a month, they were handling like 6 cases or 8 cases in a month. So it just doubled their productivity of the case worker time. More number of cases can be handled by the same set of case workers now. So this is one of the, there are many Fortune 500 companies, there's many government organizations which has adopted the Corticon over the years, and how it did, we will not have that much time to discuss through all those case studies. We're going to discuss a few of them. But if you have any question at this point,